Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm very happy to be back making a video for you guys today. As many of you know, I have been a little sick for the last couple of weeks. I'm getting over bronchitis, and today I have a huge haul. I have 10 fragrances. This is probably the biggest haul I've ever done, and they were mostly blind, and most of them turned out to be incredible. So I'm very happy to be sharing them with you. There are a couple that I could take or leave, but I will leave that for later. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in seeing what I purchased and what my thoughts are on them, then stay tuned. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, definitely consider going down and hitting the big red button so that you don't miss any future fragrance-related content. Okay, so before we get started, guys, I just wanted to share with you the new setup of my dresser. That thing up there is my vision board. I won't share that in today's video because for me, a vision board is a little bit more personal. If you guys have any questions about vision boards or you'd like to see me do a video about vision boards, let me know and I can do that. But I always just keep my vision board up there on my dresser because it reminds me of my hopes and dreams and goals and all of that kind of stuff. But this is the current setup on my dresser, and I changed a few things around. I got rid of the gold tray, or I didn't get rid of it, but I put it on my nightstand, and I brought back out my super famous bedazzled cake tray that I started keeping my perfumes on way back when I started doing perfume videos in the beginning. I love this thing. I think it's so beautiful and it looks so glamorous. And I just have the Bath & Body Works candle, the same one I've had on here forever. This is the lavender vanilla. I just have a little mason jar with some of these perfume tester strips, which I love because it's so handy when you get blind buys or you're doing videos and you want to sniff your perfumes, or if you just don't remember what something smells like, it's kind of handy to have those out. I also have my roses from Rose Forever that are so beautiful, and then behind the tray I also have this faux birch tree. I think it's a birch tree from Walmart with the LED lights, and it just provides like the perfect ambiance for the backgrounds for my videos, and it also just looks really pretty sitting on my dresser. That light also doubles as a night light. Like if you want something in the evening, if you're just having like a romantic night with your partner, or you just want like some soft light while you're winding down going to bed, it makes such a nice light. I will try to find it and link it down below because every time I share it in a video or a photo, people ask where they can get it. So I will find the link for you guys and I'll put it down below. And then on top of my perfume tray, I have just a couple of strings of pearls. These are faux pearls, obviously. They're super inexpensive, but pearls are one of my favorite types of jewelry. And I have my little container of coffee beans, and then I have a couple of Kayali perfumes sitting out, and these are just from the little discovery set. And yeah, that is kind of my little setup. So now without further ado, let's get into our video. So as mentioned in my intro, this is the biggest haul I've ever done, I think, on my channel. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to film this all week. And yeah, so we're just gonna go through this box. I have some in here that are tricks and some that are treats. So most of them turned out to be really, really good. Pretty much all of them are blind buys. I think there's one or two that are not blind buys. Okay, so the first one that we'll talk about is Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Fresh. So this one isn't really a blind buy. This one I had smelt quite a long time ago, and actually this one has a bit of a story. So this one, you guys, I used to wear quite a long time ago. So some of you know that I used to be an LPN and then I went back to school to become an RN. This is the perfume that I wore way back in 2011 when I was first going to school to become an LPN. This perfume is so nostalgic for me. First of all, I'll tell you what it smells like. It's a beautiful, fruity, kind of a pink and purple floral scent, and it also has like a musky and a woody undertone to it. So this has violet, this has pear, this has lychee, this has raspberry. So it is a very fruity, kind of an uplifting, bubbly, soft, airy fragrance. I'm sure many of you have smelt Daisy Oh So Fresh. I used to wear the original Daisy as well, and I liked both of them, but this one really takes me back. When I was wearing this perfume, I had recently broken up with somebody. I was going to school full time, living pretty much paycheck to paycheck, had a baby, had a 1-year-old baby at home who is now my 10-year-old daughter, and things were really rough. I was actually in kind of a little bit of a mini depression at the time because there was a lot going on in my life and it was just like really hard times. But it was also a time of inspiration and motivation for me. I had goals, I had dreams, I was extremely motivated, I was very passionate, I was very hardworking, and this perfume just is very nostalgic for me, and it brings me back to that point in time. So this perfume is very happy and uplifting, but it also is very nostalgic for me, and I really do like it. Yeah, and it's really nice. I mean, I can't promise I'm going to keep this one in my collection forever because it does have a lot of weird memories for me, but it is a really beautiful scent and it doesn't last very long on skin. It lasts a lot longer on clothing, and it is a very light, airy perfume. So it doesn't have great lasting power. Just really effortless and carefree, would be good for the gym as well. So I do really like this scent. So you guys, this is like my transformational, nostalgic fragrance. So this one was like kind of a win, kind of a fail. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This next one, unfortunately, is a little bit of a fail for me. This is Carolina Herrera's 212 Sexy. And I had smelt this in duty-free shopping quite a few years ago, and for some reason I remembered really liking this one. This is kind of an older perfume. I think this one came out in like 2005, and I was thinking to myself that if I really liked it, I thought that I might add it to my evening fragrance arsenal. And this has notes of pink pepper, mandarin orange, bergamot. It's got cotton candy, it has some floral notes, it has some vanilla, it has musk, it has sandalwood. And unfortunately, I'm just not in love with this perfume at all. Yeah, it's not what I thought it would be. It's not really what I remember it being. I'm also not a fan of the bottle. I think the bottle's a little bit tacky, but at least if I liked the juice, I would keep this one, obviously. And I just don't really like it as much as I remember liking it. I don't know. So I'm a little bit disappointed with this one. So it's kind of weird because you have to pull the balls out of the ends and then you screw them back in, sort of. So yeah, not my favorite type of bottle to begin with. So yeah, it doesn't hurt my feelings all that much that I don't love this scent. So this one, unfortunately, was a fail for myself. I know a lot of people really like this. And by the way, you guys, if you love some of the fragrances that I consider fails, don't be offended. That just means it's a fail for me. Doesn't mean it's a fail for everybody. So yeah, this one will not be staying in my collection. The next one that we have is Kenzo Amore. And this one is also not a complete blind buy. I actually used to have this one in my collection. This one I had originally purchased from duty-free shopping in 2016, I believe it was. And this is an absolutely gorgeous vanillic powdery fragrance. It has some resemblance to Hypnotic Poison, but this one does smell different than Hypnotic Poison. This one has notes of rice in it. It has tea leaves. I think it has vanilla as well. I will put the notes up on the screen for you guys, but this is just a really beautiful, soft, feminine, pretty vanilla fragrance. It also, to me, smells pink, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of a unique bottle. It has a really unique silhouette. It is a little bit bulky. It takes up a lot of room, but it's one of the most gorgeous fragrances, you guys. I had gotten rid of this one because I found it to be a little bit too similar to Hypnotic Poison when I first purchased it. And I didn't think I needed both this one and Hypnotic Poison, so I did declutter it back when I was in a decluttering kind of a mood. And I almost immediately regretted it because I absolutely love this fragrance. This one is just one of my favorites. It's very easy to wear. It lasts forever in your clothing. It's very sweet. It's very feminine. It's very powdery. Very vanillic. And if you haven't smelt this one, this is definitely a must smell. So that is Kenzo Amore. Okay, so I thought we would break kind of the monotony and talk about one that I absolutely love. So this is Guerlain Mon Floral. So you guys, I have the original Mon Guerlain. I also have Mon Guerlain Intense, and I used to have Mon Guerlain Eau de Toilette. I have smelt Bloom of Rose, and I think it's very nice. I just haven't liked it enough to bring it into my collection quite yet. But this one, you guys, is absolutely beautiful. So as the name would suggest, this is very similar to the original Mon Guerlain, almost too similar, but I would say that this one smells slightly more floral and slightly more sweet and light. So it's not quite as dense and powdery as the original Mon Guerlain. This one has a bit of a lighter, sweeter twist to it. Not sweeter in terms of vanillic sweet, sweeter in terms of like floral sweet. And to be honest, I haven't even looked at the notes. I'll put them on the screen for you guys, but what I get from this one is basically the original Mon Guerlain, but for me, this one is something you could throw on every single day, even if it was really hot, even if it was a really warm day or the middle of summer. Whereas the original Mon Guerlain, I feel like sometimes I need to save it for night times or cooler weather because it is a little bit heavier. This one is just, it's gorgeous, you guys. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna have to do a comparison video and compare and contrast this one to the Intense and the original and just kind of really get in detail about the difference in notes and stuff like that, let me know if you'd like that down below. But for me, this is a must-have, you guys. This is so good. If you like the original Mon Guerlain, you will love this one. I know I've seen a couple of videos out there where people said that this was too similar to the original and you could just take one or the other. And I guess you could. But for me, this one just has, like I say, a more wearable, every single day, warm weather kind of a quality about it. Yeah, I'm gonna take the lid off and smell it. It's so pretty, you guys, and it does have a bit of a lighter quality about it. Also, it's worth mentioning that my boyfriend really likes this one. Men do overall seem to like Mon Guerlain, but he really liked this one. He said that this one smelled fresh, which he isn't like a perfume connoisseur. This isn't citrus or anything like that, but it does smell very like light and pretty and feminine and soft. That being said, this is an eau de parfum. This has really good lasting power. It smells absolutely to die for on your skin. It's just a gorgeous scent. I've been wanting this one in my collection for quite a while because I smelt it in a Shoppers Drug Mart and I fell in love with it. It's been on my radar for a really long time and I'm so happy to have it. It's absolutely beautiful, you guys. Like, this could be signature scent. This could be every single day. And it's not quite as powdery or quite as, I don't know, quite as like vanillic lavendery as the original. It still has those notes, but this one is just a little bit brighter and more floral. So it's like 5% different. Like, it's not that different, but it's different enough to me that I want both of them. So next we have a flanker of the original Vie Est Belle, and this is Vie Est Belle Intense. So first I will preface this by saying that I used to have the original Vie Est Belle. I actually really like Vie Est Belle. I liked it then and I still like it now. I did end up getting rid of Vie Est Belle because I got sick of it. Like, it's a very, as you know, it's a very powerful scent. It's a very strong and distinct kind of a scent, and I think I just wore it too much and I got sick of it. I still have a flanker of Vie Est Belle. I have Vie Est Belle Eclat, which I really like. That one is a little bit more sweet. This one is very similar to the original Vie Est Belle, but this one takes it, I would say, into the fall, winter, cold weather category a little bit more. This one is a little bit heavier. It also has notes of whipped cream and hazelnut. So it is a little bit different from the original. When you first spray it, you really get, it smells just like the original Vie Est Belle. Like, you pick it out right away. It smells very similar. Yeah, I mean, it really is a more intense version of the original Vie Est Belle, but this one does take it, like I say, a little bit more into that like cold weather, really rich kind of hazelnut whipped cream direction. This actually reminds me a little bit, not that it smells the same, but it reminds me a little bit of Angel Muse from Thierry Mugler. If you have ever smelt Angel Muse and you've smelt this one, tell me if you kind of get that vibe. Very sweet. I find it very sexy. My boyfriend also likes this one. He thinks it's very sexy, very likable on a woman. And I bought this blindly, and I kind of wanted to bring it into my collection because I do like the original Vie Est Belle. I'm just still a little bit sick of it, but I wanted to experiment with a couple of the flankers because I really did like the original Vie Est Belle. I think that the overall DNA and the overall smell of Vie Est Belle was kind of unbeatable because, I mean, it's one of the best-selling fragrances in the world for a reason. Very likable, very mass pleasing. This one definitely, though, for me is a little bit more warm weather or cool weather focused and a little bit more rich and deep and nighttime. So that would be the difference for me, and I really do like this one. I'm gonna have to wear it a little bit more and kind of play with it because it is very reminiscent of the original Vie Est Belle, which I'm a little bit tired of. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy to have this one. So next we have this gorgeous one from Gucci, and this is Gucci Flora. This one's a little bit of an OG fragrance. It's been around for a while. I smelt this in duty-free shopping a long time ago. And actually, so this isn't totally blind. I did purchase this one back in the day, but I think I had the Eau de Toilette and I missed it, and I remember really liking it. I've seen a few people talk about it lately, and it kind of just sparked my interest and it made me want to bring Gucci Flora back into my collection. However, I can't remember if I liked the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum back in the day. This one is the Eau de Parfum. I kind of took a risk. I paid for this one with my own money. It wasn't sent to me, and it's a really large bottle, and I don't think this is the one that I fell in love with many years ago, unless my tastes have just changed that much, but I think the eau de toilette is a little bit more fruity and light, where this one is a little bit more woody and deep. So this is basically a fruity floral scent with some woody undertones. So there's mandarin orange, there's pear, there's peony, there's osmanthus, there's rose, cedar, patchouli, musk, and there's also a little bit of leather in this. I don't really get much leather. There is a bit of a creamy kind of a quality to it. I do get a lot of fruity notes. I get the osmanthus pretty strong, which I guess is kind of like an apricot-y kind of a scent. It's very pretty. The lasting power is okay, not bad, like 5-6 hours on the skin. It's really good quality. The bottle is obviously to die for. But yeah, I do think that I must have fallen in love with the eau de toilette back in the day, because I'm just not quite as in love with this one. And it is really nice, and it does smell very, very reminiscent of the first time I smelt it, but I think I must have had the eau de toilette because I just remember liking it a little bit more. I don't know, for me this just isn't quite, it's not quite what I remember it. Maybe my tastes have changed a little bit, I'm not sure, but this is kind of one of my less favorite from today's haul, but still a very pretty perfume, and I might experiment wearing it a little bit and see how it goes. Okay, so I have one left in this box that's kind of can be here or there. I'm not really sure if I'm in love with it. And then I have 3 that are absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna save the best for last, you guys. So stay with me. Okay, so the next one is Paul Gaultier Scandal by Night. So I have been wanting to try this one for so long, you guys. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I have not really been a fan of the Scandal fragrances. I like them, but they're so sweet. I used to have the original Scandal, and for me it was just too much honey. I think it was also a waxy perfume. I think there was beeswax if I'm not mistaken, but it was just a very like heavy honey bomb, super intense, like it just kind of suffocated me. It gave me a bit of a headache. I have smelt the So Scandal, which is okay. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit more wearable, but everybody kept recommending to me to try the Scandal by Night. They said, oh, you're gonna love it. It's so much better. You're gonna love it. So bit the bullet, purchased this one. It is a gigantic bottle. I think this is an 80 ml, perhaps. Yeah, it's an 80 ml bottle. I really like the bottle idea. I think it's really cute. This one, you guys, is very sweet, very potent. It's very similar to the original. Where it's a little bit different is I think it takes the kind of waxiness down a notch, and it kind of bumps up some of those other notes like tuberose, cherry, but you still do ultimately get a huge blast of honey. This is still primarily a honey fragrance, and I don't know if I can ever get with the Scandal perfumes. I don't know if I ever can. A lot of people really love them, and maybe I'm just really sensitive, but I think it would be a great, it's also very heavy. I think it would be a great clubbing perfume if I still was like a lot younger and went to the bars and stuff like that, maybe. I don't know, but for me, it's still a little bit too intense. It's very, very sweet. It's very honey. It's very, very powerful. It's got really good sillage, really good projection. And I do pick up a little bit more on some of the creamy undertones, like I get a little bit more vanilla, I get a little bit more smoothness. For me, it's slightly more tolerable than the original one, but for me, this one is still too sweet, still too like overpowering. But a lot of people really like this one. I would say if you love the original, you'll probably love this one because they're very, very similar. For me, the So Scandal is definitely the most wearable and the most easy on the nose compared to the other ones. So I should smell the Scandal Au Paris because that one I think is fruitier and lighter, and maybe that's going to be the one that I can tolerate. So I should probably check that one out, but I'm kind of scared to blind buy any more Scandal perfumes because they just all end up being so intense. I can't promise I'm going to have this one in my collection for very long because I don't know if I can actually wear it. The next one, you guys, is one of my absolute favorites. This is Poison Girl Eau de Parfum. It is very hard to find the Eau de Parfum of Poison Girl these days. Every store I go into, whether it's the Bay, whether it's Shoppers Drug Mart, whether it's online, I find it very hard to find the Eau de Parfum. And the Eau de Parfum was the one that I originally fell in love with back when I first smelt it, when it first came out. And I didn't purchase it at the time, and ever since then I've been kicking myself because in general, I do prefer an eau de parfum concentration, something that lasts a little bit longer and is a little bit more rich. So I did actually buy the Eau de Toilette by accident a few months ago. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that. And I ended up returning it because I didn't feel like it was rich enough. I didn't feel like it lasted long enough. And I felt like it was a little bit more bright and fruity than I ever remembered it being. I remembered it being like a really intoxicating, deep, vanillic almond fragrance. And the Eau de Toilette to me was a little bit more creamsicle than it was vanilla almond. And that's because both of them do have notes of orange. So this one, you guys, I have to say in hindsight, they're not that different. This one I would say is a little bit more almondy. It is a little bit more deep and vanillic, but they do still both have that kind of bitter orange or orangey sort of creamsicle vibe to them. Not that they smell like a creamsicle, but they have a little bit of that like sweet orange vibe. So in hindsight, I probably could have kept the Eau de Toilette. I think it had just been so long since I smelt this one. But you guys, this is an absolutely delicious, sexy, sweet, feminine scent. It is a little bit on the younger side. I think this one definitely does have a little bit more of a younger vibe. So this has notes of bitter orange. It has two different types of rose. It has almond, tonka bean. It has heliotrope, which is sort of a vanillic, sorry, not a vanillic, sort of an almondy type of a scent. And it also has vanilla and cashmere. So this is really just a really delicious almondy vanilla, but with a twist of bitter orange, which makes it have a little bit of that sort of creamsicle vibe. And I love this, you guys. I've been wanting this in my collection forever. I've just been wanting the Eau de Parfum, and now I have it. And like I say, in hindsight, I probably could have just kept the Eau de Toilette. This one does have a little bit better lasting power than the Eau de Toilette, I will say. My boyfriend also really likes this one. This is sultry, this is pretty, it's sweet, it's mass pleasing, it's feminine. It's delicious, and I absolutely love it. So this is a 50 ml. I will link down below where you can get this if you're interested in the Eau de Parfum concentration for yourself, because like I say, it was very, very hard for me to find, and it is a little dark. Obviously it's darkened a little bit, but vanillic perfumes do tend to do that over time. So it smells amazing, and I'm so happy to have this one finally. Okay, you guys, and on to my last couple of favorites. So this is Olympia Intense from Paco Rabanne. If you guys know me at all, you know that I love the original Olympia. It's one of my top favorite perfumes of all time, and I've been wanting the intense version in my collection for a while. I smelt this in the store in the Bay a few months ago, and I liked it, but I didn't fall head over heels with it enough to get it. I love the original, and this one is just a little bit more sultry and a little bit more vanilla than the original. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get it because I don't think I can go wrong. So I absolutely love this, you guys. This one is very similar to the original, but this one takes that saltiness down a notch, and it takes the amber and the vanilla up a whole bunch. So if I'm being very honest, I do prefer the original. I was going to save that for a different video and do a comparison, but I'll tell you right now, I do prefer the original only because I love that pungent, salty, sexy opening that the original one has. This one is still salty, but the salt is a lot more understated. This one just has a lot more vanilla, a little bit more nighttime, a little bit more cold weather. I would say that I would save this one specifically for dates, specifically for cooler weather, specifically for evening, where the original you could pretty much wear all year round, anytime, day or night. But I really like this one. I also prefer the original packaging to this one. I like the colors a little bit better. But this is a delicious perfume. Yeah, it is. And I did run it by my man to see if this was just as sexy as the original, because as you guys know, the original is also very sexy and it's one of his favorites on me. And I always like to get his opinion about perfumes. And yeah, he confirmed that this one is just as sexy as the original. Yeah, this is a very good date night, sexy go-to, cool weather, evening type of a perfume. And I'm very happy to have it. I will say this one lasts a little bit longer than the original. It doesn't take it to the beast mode direction or anything like that. The original was also pretty good lasting. Yeah, I love this one. I'm very happy to have this one. This was a very good kind of a semi-blind buy. So that is Olympia Intense. And the last one from today's haul, and one of my absolute favorites. This is an absolute gem, you guys. This is from Micaleff, and this is Mon Parfum Cristal. So a few people have mentioned this one in the past to me, a couple of subscribers. I've seen it floating around, but I haven't heard a whole lot of people talking about this one. I rarely hear fragrance reviewers talk about this one. I think Arlene from Delicious Delights has mentioned it a few times, but I just was dying to get my hands on this one because the notes sounded incredible, and I am a huge fan of Micaleff as it is. So this is basically a gourmand rose scent. First of all, let's just take a minute to appreciate the bottle. It's a very unique, pretty bottle, and it does have the hand-placed crystals on the front. And I also wanted to show you the box, the packaging, because it comes in basically a satin pillowcase. Like it's just such exquisite packaging. This is the top. So it comes in a box like that, encased in this gorgeous satin pillowy bedding. Super opulent, very luxurious, very beautiful. The scent, you guys, I wouldn't say go out and blind buy this because I don't think this is a safe blind buy. Turns out I love it. I'm very, very happy with it. But if you look at the notes, you pretty much assume it's going to be a sweet, kind of a caramelly gourmand scent. This has toffee and it has vanilla as some of the main notes, but it also has a huge, huge dose of Bulgarian rose. And you guys, this fragrance is a true rose. Like, it smells like high quality rose. It literally smells like you are sticking your nose in a freshly picked pink rose. It is intense, it is strong, it is a very, very rosy scent, but it's a very pleasant rose. You also get a heavy dose of that toffee and that vanilla. So it's like you took a pink Bulgarian rose and you literally dipped it in vanilla toffee, but this is still very sweet. It's still very gourmand. It's very feminine, very pretty. It's very classy. Yeah, so don't make the same mistake that I did. When you look at the notes, you're gonna think it's a rosy gourmand. It's kind of the other way around. It's a gourmandy rose. It is, for me, it's first and foremost a rose scent. It's beautiful, it's classy, it's very elegant. Yeah, I honestly, like, this is completely different than what I was expecting it to smell like, but it's gorgeous. You guys, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a really beautiful, rich rose scent, very elegant. And if you don't like roses, you will not like this. If you're a rose lover, you'll like it, but this is not like a fresh, clean rose. It's a very sweet, rich rose scent. It's not really like Rose's Vanille. I'm sure somebody's gonna ask me if it's similar to Rose's Vanille. It's really not. Rose's Vanille is very sweet. It has like a synthetic sort of quality to it. It's very rich and syrupy in a good way. I love Rose's Vanille, but this is not like Rose's Vanille at all. The ingredients smell fresh. They don't smell synthetic whatsoever. And it's none of that. It's not syrupy sweet. It's not sickly sweet. And it's not as strong or wide projecting as Rose's Vanille. This is not a monster. It does have great performance. It lasts forever and it has a good little scent bubble. So it's very high quality, but it isn't syrupy sweet. It's just a very feminine toffee rose fragrance. This would be an excellent wedding day scent. This would be excellent to wear to a wedding, formal event. Yeah, it's that kind of fragrance. It's a very glamorous, elegant scent. But yeah, first and foremost, it's a rose scent. So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful, you guys. I really think this is one of the least appreciated, under talked about fragrances. I really, really like it. And it's honestly like a work of art. That is Mon Parfum Cristal from M. Micaleff. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Please let me know down below if you have any of these fragrances, what your thoughts are on any of them, and of course if you have any other questions or any other video recommendations for me that you'd like to see me do. And if you haven't, please head on over and follow me on Instagram so we can continue to have conversations over there. And I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye for now.